Welcome back to your dose. We're the plug for all things prevention.
And I'm your host, Daniel Sr. And today, our prescription is balance. But before then, let me introduce my outlets. So, to my right, we have Jada.
Hi, guys. To my right, we have Azine.
Hi, guys. I'm Azine. And across from me, we have
Leon. Hello.
Yes, okay, so we're back again this week. I think last week's episode went really well. We hope you guys enjoyed it. But today, so the question is, it's quite the question. So let me say it one time and like stare at the camera. Ready?
Yes.
Today's question: what aspects of life do you find challenging to balance?
It's a very
That's a loaded question. This is our board. It has all of our topics for today that we're going to be talking about, and as well as a topic for next episode. So if you see me holding this, that's what's on here. It's not the best art wise, but
it gets the job done.
It gets the job done. You know. So for me, I find balance to be a really hard thing for me because I do so much all the time that like sometimes I lose track of how to balance. So like I wish someone had taught me earlier on how to balance, but for me personally, I think balancing like social life versus academics versus like my own well-being can be something very challenging for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that trio of balance has been something that's really difficult for me.
Okay. Well, mine would definitely be like activities and school. Because like you have school for 6-7 hours, and then you have your activities after school. You get home late, homework. Like you got to have good time management and good balance for that.
Yeah. And for me, I would say it definitely is the amount of schoolwork that I have each day and like life after school, which involves job, which involves taking care of my little sisters. Like there's a lot that goes on after school, and I find it hard for me to balance life at school and life after school.
That's valid.
I would say one of the harder aspects for myself would have to be my own mental health in general. For me, it's a bit more difficult to try to balance it with all the other schoolwork, social life, and etc. But when it comes to my mental health, I try to at least take 2 hours a day to contemplate, like, I don't know, really.
Yeah.
But it's just anything.
People need it. Yeah.
You
But I
need
feel
a
like
break once in a while.
It's different for everyone. Like for me, like I feel like on different days my breaks look different. So like
No, definitely.
one day it's like me on TikTok for 2 hours scrolling, doom scrolling, and that's like, is it bad? Sometimes yes, but it's also a break.
It
And
is.
other days it's me writing in my journal, going on a walk,
I like that.
like you know, doing things for myself.
Right.
And sometimes like I feel like a lot of the times we feel bad for like scrolling all day. But it's like we also do so much that like
Sometimes
that is a part of balance. Like sometimes doing nothing or doing something with literally no substance
Yeah.
or no value is sometimes just a way to like get your mind to like reset.
Yeah.
So that's always a good point.
Well, I love sleeping.
Ooh, sleep is also a good way.
Or just binge watching like shows or like
Right.
YouTube videos.
Sometimes you just need to like close everything around. and
Real.
Just,
And
like,
just be in your own little
Real.
bubble.
Yes.
honestly.
Okay, so for our first topic, we're going to talk about balancing, obviously, but balancing relationships specifically. So this is like peer-to-peer relationships in school, teacher relationships, any relationship in your life, romantic, platonic, any type of thing that relationship basically.
Yeah.
If you want to start.
Well, it's definitely like, how would I put this? I definitely like talk to a lot of people at our school, but like I wouldn't say a lot of them are friends, just like people you know,
Like
people you talk
acquaintances.
to. Yeah.
Acquaintances, yep.
But like the friendships I do have, you definitely have to balance like, you know, school and everything you do like outside of school, like you said, but then also those relationships because you don't want to lose them or like go distant. So it's like you have to find time for them, but you also like if they're not finding time for you, then you shouldn't do the same. But
Like if they don't value you.
exactly. But like, you know, obviously if you're going to value my time, I'm going to do the same for yours.
100%.
So it's a little difficult, but like it's always worth it at the end, especially if it's like a good relationship you have with that person.
Right. Balancing relationships. Relationships can come in many ways. They can be friendships, romantic, platonic, like you said. And honestly, one thing that I will say is to find time for yourself. Because most of us, we get lost in, oh, I'm gonna meet with this friend. I'm gonna do this with this friend. And it's just difficult for us to for mental health
It
to
can get
take
draining.
because we're just thinking about, I'm going to spend today with this person, and honestly the first priority should be, I want to spend time with myself.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and
Yes.
balancing relationships, yes, it's okay for you to make friends, to see people romantically and all that kind of stuff, but first of all, the first thing should be, I want to do what with myself again?
Take care of myself.
I want to take
first.
care of myself.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
No, 100%.
For me, I also value, what was it? Someone valuing my own time as well. So, wait, sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, read the question.
Okay, so yeah.
Calls for a drink.
Okay.
Non-alcohol, guys. Prevent.
Our mugs. Okay.
Our mugs,
This probably
yes.
cut while I'm
Oh,
talking. It's gonna get cut. Anyways, but the question is, how do you balance in your life relationships in your life? That did not make any sense.
So I didn't
How
even
do you
answer the
balance
question.
relationships in your life?
Okay. So, what I do usually when I would hang out with my friends and all that stuff, I'll give it like 3 weeks, just to recharge entirely. So, we hang out this week, and then 1, 2, or maybe 3 weeks, we hang out again. Give them their own time, of course, because I really value others' time. I love hanging out personally, but I can understand when someone wants to be alone entirely.
Yeah.
But when it's completely like, they're completely off, that's when it starts like affecting me. Because I'm trying to value as much as you value me
Exactly.
entirely. But if it's not the same, then it just doesn't work
It
out.
doesn't work out. Right. Yeah, because I'm the same way. I love spending time with people. But again, people need their breaks as well. So.
Right.
Like I found out that like the burnout is real. Like
Yeah,
and
definitely.
that's what I'm saying. Like when you take time during friendships and like a lot of the time for me, like with all my friendships that like have ended, it was honestly because we were just going and hanging out so much and there was no breaks.
No, because that's what I
that,
think
like-
as well. Like I feel like when you hang out with someone so much, that person or yourself might try to figure out might try to find like the small things in that person that you despise or that you don't like.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, you need at times, it's okay for you to say, look, let's take this week apart. Let me find my thing and you do your thing. And then we can reconvene the next week.
Yeah, because I have a friendship like that as well. I've been friends with her since 4th grade.
Wow.
And yeah, we're kicking it strong. But like, we also have our breaks because,
Yeah.
again, go. And it's like, but we still, again, make time for each other. We still text, we still call. Like, the friendship is still strong. But like, again, people need their breaks. 'Cause
Right.
I know I be needing mine.
Yeah, I love to talk about a romantic one, but I've never been in a relationship, so I can't touch on that one. So anyone else want to touch on that? I know I would love to, and I have great advice, but I've been single my entire life, so this isn't my topic.
I also can't really.
Yeah, I'm also
Yeah,
That's
I
not
also
me.
can't, y'all.
Okay, this seems
so
directed.
Yeah.
Take one for the team.
So you got
Wait,
it.
Jada.
What should I say?
Like, how do you maintain and balance a healthy relationship?
Wow. Well, there's a lot. There's a lot. Like, you have to be prepared to like,
Compromise.
yeah, definitely. Like, with their schedule, with like what they do, how they act. Like, it's definitely a lot. And like, you guys just have to like communicate like with a lot of
Yeah.
things. Like, that's really like, you always hear from people like, oh, communication's key, but it literally is. Cause like, one little thing could lead to a big thing, and then there goes that relationship.
And that's any relationship, not even just
That-
romantic.
Yeah,
literally,
true.
it's
friendship.
Yeah.
Like, you could be saying something to Leo, and then I heard it the wrong way, and you guys were talking about Daniel. I tell Daniel, and then it's a whole mess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, like, in reality, it never should have been that big.
Right.
So it's like, you always have to like communicate with them, and like with anything, like, hey, like, I have this today, so maybe we might not talk as much. So then they're aware, because then it leads to overthinking, and then it could drain like mental health, like you were saying. And it's just like, it's a whole big circle.
Yeah.
So you definitely like, that requires a relationship that's romantic, definitely requires more like attention and more time. But like, that's like, if you could handle that. If you can't, then
maybe it's not for you, and that's
Yeah.
also okay. Like, there's no pressure
Exactly.
to be in a relationship. I think if I was in
Exactly.
one, I would have actually gone insane.
You
Like,
probably
to
would,
balance
Daniel.
school, work, home life, a job,
You're
and a
like
relationship,
so busy.
and like
Yeah.
I feel like, and that's what happened for me. Like, even my best friends, like sometimes I found it really hard to like hang out with them
No,
because
same.
Right.
like I could not imagine dating someone like that. I feel like that would have been like a lot for me. So I'm kind of glad that I had that again balance of knowing what I should do and what I can and can't do, knowing my
Yeah.
limits, knowing
Definitely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like again, there's always the future. Like
you have the rest of life ahead of you.
Right. Like there's so much time. Like someone will come in your life and will be able to handle like all
Yeah,
that.
and it's not always gonna be in high school. Like,
Exactly.
Don't be in
Yeah.
a rush.
like don't rush it exactly
Yeah.
because then rushing it is just so much worse.
It just leads to like more people being hurt in general.
Toxic.
And it
Mhm.
leads to,
Toxic
like-
relationships.
Yep.
insecurity as well.
It definitely and it can mess with mental health and
Right.
just bring you down and then all those activities like Daniel was saying like
Like,
then
you're just gonna stress yourself. out.
exactly just like how
It's
our
gonna
last
start
one
for oh my god,
our
sorry.
last episode was talking about. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, what is it? It just affects your overall like, what is it called?
Well-being?
Work
Well-
ethic.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
No, definitely. And then it's like, why? Like then you're just
Yeah, like you have the whole rest of your life. Why
Yeah.
do that to yourself at such a young age?
yes.
Yeah.
Balance.
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 The word of the day.
Balance.
Okay, mathematician. Wait.
Math. Wrong subject, guys.
Anyway,
It's okay.
Our next topic about balance is balancing home life. So for us, all of us, that's different.
Yeah.
We all have our our individual lives, our own families. We come from different backgrounds, different everything, honestly. But I mean,
I think I
start?
should go last because
Okay.
mine's with
you have a lot to unpack.
yeah.
We'll give you that space, girl.
Understandable.
Anyone want to start?
We're talking about our home life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do you balance home life?
Honestly, I'll start. Honestly, it's difficult for me. Like, I'm still in the process of trying to balance my home life. But with everything that I have going on, something that I will say is this: it's okay for you to take a day. Like, a day just doing nothing, laying in your bed, just sleeping, whether it be sleeping or reading a book or watching a movie, whatever. It's okay for you to take a day off and just rest, because home life, whether you have family responsibilities or work or sports or extracurricular activities whatsoever it may be, like those stuff, like doing such activities back to back gets to you.
No, yeah, definitely.
So it's important for you to take a day off, whether it be a day or two. Honestly, just spend time with yourself.
And like, I know for me, like, I don't have any younger siblings to take care of. Like, I don't have any. Everyone in home is at good health, and I don't have to take care of anybody. Luckily, so that gives you more time to take care of myself. But I know like chores, like making sure your room is maintained, like all of that stuff is also part of home life. And like for me, I would get home at like 10 every day. So my room would be a mess, and then it's like they're mad at me because my room's a mess. But I'm like, I don't have time to clean it. Like I don't know what you want me to do. So like again, like taking those weekends and like utilizing your time wisely and like having those breaks, but also like maintaining a schedule within those breaks. Because then sometimes, honestly, I'll be getting lost in the breaks, and then I'm on TikTok for 10 hours, and I'm like, how did I get
I was
here?
literally
I
gonna
just
say
woke up.
'cause, like,
Exactly.
breaks, like you definitely gotta like be like wise with it because you can get stuck, like you were
So
saying.
quickly.
Like you look like, and then it's Sunday already. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, so my
It's
break
3
is
a.m.
gone.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's
actually.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm still on TikTok. Got it. Okay. Room's still a mess.
What's the one was like, you've been scrolling a long time. What did she say on
All
TikTok?
those ads
Yeah.
that pop up from TikTok.
Like, yeah.
No, like
It's
on,
time for you to. She didn't say you've been scrolling a long time. It's
on
time for you to take a
Instagram.
break.
Yes, it
Yeah.
literally, it's like, oh, you've been on Instagram for a little too long. It's time to take a break. No.
Like this
This is my break.
Literally. But yeah, so like for me, my home life is balancing my chores and like that, my expectations that I have set for me at home. That's kind of my version of balance. I know for you guys all have your individual things, but
Yeah.
like that's kind of how it plays. When I'm home, my main focus is to like keep my space clean and like keep my mental clean and make sure that like I'm doing what I need to do for myself, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that experience is so different from mine because when I'm home, I have to take care of my grandma and my little sister and my little brother, and then I have to go to work. So it's just very I'm still in the process of
You a
managing
busy gal.
I'm telling you, I'm still in the process of creating a schedule or staying organized, because that's something I've yet to figure out. And that's why this podcast is so helpful, because it's going to teach me and the people watching as well. It's going to teach us that, look, there's certain things that you can do to stay balanced, to keep a healthy life. And
No, definitely. And I'm glad that you're trying to, figure that out.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people struggling with that.
Stay to the end for some tips
Yes.
on how to
Stay to the
balance.
end.
We have them going for you. What about you?
I am one of those people struggling to try to balance my own schedule. Like, I feel like I have time to do stuff, but yet for some reason, I don't have like the motivation to do anything.
Oh.
And I can't find it for some reason in general. Like, I look at my mother as inspiration because she works really hard and everything for my family. But for some reason, I feel like I can't do the same. It's, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I look at like chores and all that stuff as like something that's like hindering me for some reason.
No.
But I have like all that time to do it, but yet I don't do it because I'm procrastinating on it, which
Yeah,
isn't good at all.
Right. Procrastination is just, it's like,
It really
It's
affects
big.
you.
Yeah.
It's the killer for real.
It really is, especially my schedule.
yeah.
Because usually I spend my schedule, well, for my home life, I usually see it as my break. And so I just, what is it called? Mellow out? Is it?
Yeah.
Is that the proper term?
yeah. Me as well,
I
yeah.
just like lay around, basically, watch TV, play whatever I want. I still try to help out at least when I find that motivation, but I know I need to do better in actually helping out in my house because I really want to help out in my house, but I don't have that motivation there for some reason. Outside of my own home, I can find that motivation for other things. So that's the
I feel like we're
problem.
literally in the same boat right now. Like that's exactly what happens when I'm at home. Like I hear you, I feel you.
Because your home is meant to be your safe space.
Exactly.
But when you're not there or like mentally there, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
It just feels more like another place that you're just meant to be there.
No, definitely. And then it's like you don't even want to be there. Then you want to be out. And then
And then you give yourself no breaks.
right.
Yeah.
It's
And that's how, literally, it's a
It's
cycle.
literally a cycle.
Yeah. Well, I'm also trying to balance home life and like everything else. So, not saying like I have the most difficult life, but I would say mine's is also very difficult because my parents are split.
Yeah.
So, I don't see my bio dad anymore, but he like is slowly trying to make his way back in my life. But like, it's also very hard for me because there was a whole year where it definitely got very difficult and like it was messing with me like mentally and physically and everything, and it was just so draining. And like, you always should have like people always say, oh, you should have a father and you should have a mother, but it was like my mother was like both.
Yeah.
I can relate
So-
so
I can
much to
relate
that.
as
It was
well.
like then when he would try and like, oh, like let me take you like here or there, but it's like no, it's
Where
like
have you been?
where have exactly. So it would just, and then it would hurt me, and like I would like cry to my mom, like why is this happening to me? And like she'll literally, like she always says this, she's like, God always gives his toughest battles to his toughest toughest soldiers. So I always try to like keep it all in, but like it's also very difficult. And then like now that I'm older and like I'm able to like know everything and like have a better understanding, it's just like why? Like I was suffering for like all these years, like for what? Like I didn't have to let you back. So like that, having to deal with that's just one big thing. And then like now I live with my mom like full time, and like at first it wasn't pretty. Like we definitely argued a lot more and everything, but it's gotten better over the years and everything. And like you said, I have to take care of like my siblings as well, and then chores, like, and then if I have activities, like once I get home from that, then I have to do all that. So it's like there's so much that I have to balance. And then when there's times I could help out, I just don't have the motivation to do it because I'm just so tired. And it's like,
And then you feel guilty for not helping.
Exactly.
But it's like you're at that point you're giving it your all. Like you are literally like you become your own parent at some point.
Yeah,
and like you
definitely.
have to like tell yourself what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
And that sucks sometimes because you want to be able to help everybody and like, give everybody your 100%, but you yourself are not 100%.
Like that's literally me with everything, and that's not even balancing. Like with the whole like DoorDash problem that we had, like I felt so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, like Daniel like literally sent me his money and trusted me, and now it came bad. But it wasn't even my fault. But I felt so guilty and I felt so bad. Like, so I totally like understand. Like,
that's just the love you have in your heart. Like that just shows how good of a person that you are, and like we are in general. Like to feel guilt for something that you have no control over, like that's empathy, and that's a beautiful thing to have.
Yeah, but then it could also be draining.
It could also be. It's
Like, no, it is. It's not even. Yeah. So then, like you were saying, like then it's like I know I could like sweep or I could do these dishes, but I'm just tired.
Yeah.
And it's like I need sleep, and then like I'd get in trouble, like, and my parents would ask like, oh, why are you always sleeping? Like that's all you do, but it's like that's what I need. I just like you guys have you guys' own way of like being alone and stuff, like, you know, either listening to music or whatever. Mine's is sleeping. Like it's bad. Like there's times where my mom has to go and check up on me because I will be in my room for like hours sleeping. But I just like that's the way where like, you know, I get my rest, I'm alone, I'm not bothered, and then I wake up and I'm more refreshed and like have a little more motivation.
So that's what keeps
something.
you balanced.
Definitely,
sleeping.
yeah. And I know it's not a good thing because I do so many things as well. So there's always something I could be doing. Like I need to be practicing my band music now because band camp is in like 2 weeks and I have no idea any of my music, but I gotta find a way to balance
You're just
that.
a girl.
I'm just
You're
a girl.
just a girl.
I'm just a girl, guys. Yeah.
Those that get it, get it. I'm sorry.
I don't like if you
Yes.
get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I know what to tell
Right.
you.
Like literally after work, like I have a few hours to be free before I have to go do something. Like I
Sleep.
could be practicing my band music
But you
or
sleep.
doing things. Right, but I'm sleeping.
You
Like
should. Like, guys,
just a
literally,
girl,
I should.
guys. Like
So yeah,
sleep is amazing, y'all. Let me tell you guys.
sleep is the way to life.
It is.
But what also on life? Let's talk about school life and work life. Two of the main things that consume an average person's daily life. Like,
Definitely.
If you think of an adult, like for me, right? For you guys, it's high school, and during the school classes, obviously. For now, summer, it's work. For me, it's work and college.
Yeah.
So that's also school life that I haven't started yet, but like I'm slowly trying to get my way into there and like again find ways to balance all of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about how we balance work and school life.
Time management.
Oh, very much. That's key.
Well, it's
That is
literally
key.
that. Like, so now, you know, because I do this program obviously now full year round, but last year when I first started, you know, it was in the summer for
like
the
us.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
that
5
we
weeks.
do, right? So, but I also like I play softball in the summer, so I have, you know, wake up early, come here for work until 3, then I have like maybe an hour or 2 to rest, and then I have practice, and then if I have like another club I have to do or something. So like that, it's just you have to make sure nothing interferes, because then burnout, being tired, like not getting things done, or no motivation. And then when it gets to school, it's almost the same. It's like now I'm not working, but now I have school. So I still have school, and now I'm there for 7 hours, and then I have to deal with, you know, teachers, people, work, being in a class for an hour and a half, fights, like
a lot.
everyone smoking in the school. Like,
Oh my God,
it's so
especially in the
much.
school
And it's
stalls.
that's just school. So it's like, then imagine going home and then having to deal with everything at home, or if you have another activity to do, like right after school, like band for me, then I'm in school for even longer. And it's like, it's literally just time management. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know for me, like a day in my life is different every day.
no,
And
literally,
like as
it's
much
like a
as
surprise.
I like to like have control over my day and like balance it out in my planner and my schedule. Like let's go over my day schedule, right? Okay, I wake up at 6:30 every morning, take my brother to work for 7, and then I come back home and I'm like, you know what I do? Do I sleep or do I stay awake? Because I have to come back into work for 8:30. So I'm like, okay, now what do I do? So now I have to think, do I take an hour nap, or do I get my butt up and get my day started and take the day head on? And then I have work. like, and I'm here. Or no, we're obviously here from 9. I'm here from 9 to 4 every day.
Yeah, you're here.
Like, I'm here all day.
Yeah.
And after I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Do I sleep? Do I do this thing I've been waiting to do for so long? Like, I have to party plan. I have to hang out with friends. And like having, again, relationships is also a way of like, it's like a refresh. So like my best friend Wendy, like, love her to death. If you're watching this, girl, love you. Shout out to you.
Yes, her.
Emily, all my friends, like, they keep me grounded. Like, they reassure me that like I really, like, I am doing a lot. And I feel like at times I don't realize that I'm doing a lot. So like, even at school or work, like, even just taking a minute to like
Yes,
breathe,
definitely.
like, understand that, like,
Because it's just like go, go, go.
it's go. It's just constantly going.
Right.
Until you're not going. And then you feel bad for not going.
Right? Because now you're so used to like.
Yeah, 'cause
going.
it's like the new norm now. Just going.
No,
But-
definitely. I could agree with that because like there's times where like if I have nothing planned on the weekend, like I'll bug my mom. I'm like, so like what are we
Can we
doing?
do this?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
what are
I
we
always
doing?
do
Like
that.
Can we leave now?
can we go? Like I'm like I'm on the couch and I'm just like I'm like moving all over. And my mom's like, "What's your problem?" And I'm like, "We're not doing anything."
Yeah,
like
I'm wasting time.
and she's
Yeah.
like, "You need to be home. Like, you need to relax." I'm like, "I can't." Like, now, like, since I'm so used to having a book schedule, like, I just need to go. Otherwise, I'm like, what am I doing with myself? Like, I'm just like, okay.
Hamilton quote, like, running out of time. Like,
Literally.
the whole thing is watch Hamilton. You know what?
No,
Yes.
should we?
No, I prescribe you Hamilton. Watch the entire Hamilton
It's
show on
yes,
Disney
Oh my
Plus.
God.
definitely.
Why do you write like you're running out of time?
Time.
Like, don't play like that. Like
Yes.
that. Like that.
Literally, like,
Hamilton?
That's actually not. Because
Oh.
we'll go for like 2 hours.
we will.
We
Running
will.
out of time.
I don't even know any of the songs.
Okay.
Okay, back on track.
Do you want
Yes.
anyone want to touch on work school life balance?
Honestly, school life for me is, I'm just gonna give you guys like a rundown of my schedule like Daniel did. So I would wake up at like, let's say 5:45. This is in the like during the school year. So wake up at 5:45, get ready, get on the bus, and then go to school. And I'm in school from like 7:30 to 3. And then right after that, I have to go to work. And this work, it's like an internship. So I'm not getting paid. It's more like volunteer work. Yeah. So I'm there from 3 to 6. So I'm a court aide, helping out the court and just doing all that kind of stuff. And then once I'm done with that, then I go home. And home consists of as I've said before, taking care of my taking care of my siblings, doing my homeworks for the classes that I have. So each day my schedule kind of looks like that. And I find it hard for me to balance such a schedule because it is hard in a 15-year-old girl. And like one advice that I would give to high schoolers that have a schedule that might look like mine or somewhat revolves around something that looks like mine is just take that, as I've said before, take that day off, honestly. Whether it be in the weekends or in the weekday, take that day off and rest and read your book, go on a walk, go on your phone, just take that break, take that day off. Yeah, thank you.
For me, I'll talk about both work experience, well, for the summer and my school life. So for my school life, it was pretty simple. I would wake up at like 5, right? Yeah, 5:45, like Lydia. And I'll get ready, all that, go on the bus. But like, my street isn't the safest, so
Yeah.
it's not legal for me to have it. But I had pepper spray at that time because my street isn't safe for someone who looks like
gotta
me.
do what you gotta
What
do
was
for
it?
that
I dress
stuff.
feminine, all that stuff. So I got mistaken as sometimes a hooker, prostitute, because of that. And so I would have to watch out and everything because I had a car pull up on me, telling me to get inside their car. I had people catcall me, literally just walking to school. Not walking to school, walking to the bus stop and all that stuff. And even walking back. And then sometimes it would even be like cars following me. And so, obviously not the safest place for
no.
someone.
Definitely.
And so basically, I would obviously go to school. I'll talk to my friend on the bus because my friend also takes that bus. So it was nice to tell them about it, to, share that experience with them because they also dealt with that. Walking to like the Taco Bell that's nearby or like the food places nearby, whatever. But it would be mainly busy for me because I was taking some college classes, not like the AP classes, like basic accounting. I tried taking intro to business, didn't get it that year. I hope I get it this year. But like all those college classes, basic accounting literally took up my schedule after school so badly. It's a bunch of numbers and everything. Like it gets repetitive, and so then you start thinking like, oh, you can do this in an hour, so you take a little break, and then that break turns longer because you're like, I can do this even like quicker.
Time, yeah.
Right.
I've done projects
Procrastination.
before in 2 hours that were given 2 weeks ago. I done them in 2 hours because I don't know why. Since I because I procrastinated. I procrastinated. Sorry. So yeah, I just procrastinated, which isn't good because I could have done that project out the way, but I done that to myself. I did that to myself.
No, I definitely do the same with my assignments.
I think like there's a good majority of teenagers who do the same.
No, definitely, because I'm like, this assignment, I
Yeah,
can get
like,
this
it
done
could
in
wait.
15
It could
minutes.
wait.
And then you're like, ooh.
And then it's like, oh, due in an hour. Oh, okay. Okay.
The Google Classroom and everything telling you.
Right.
you're
Yep,
like,
the notifications like, this is due tomorrow. Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so stressful. Like
It definitely is.
we should touch on like course load, like taking harder classes. Like
Yeah.
for me, I think what really saved me, and it barely did because I still struggled, was like knowing my limits. Like I think I started the year with like my junior year with like 3 AP classes. I dropped them. And like
did?
I did. And like for me, I changed them to regular classes. But like
Yeah.
knowing my limit and being like, yo, like you literally have no time. Like I wanted to take all the AP classes and ECE classes. I wanted to like hold myself accountable. But I was like, I literally
Yeah.
would have like I couldn't have done it.
Could've
Yeah.
And like I literally like would have been like out. Like I would have been like in class like slumped
Yeah,
every day,
definitely.
like passed out. And like even my senior year, like I took not that many classes, but like there were classes that like I enjoyed, for a majority like I enjoyed taking. So like that's also something, is like saving up your time and like getting started early and like taking the class you need to take earlier on in your high school experience can also really benefit your senior year, because then you're taking like I took madrigals and
Classes you like?
and I took one class ECA, if you ever teach Miss Marquez, and that is a class that like helped me prepare for college. Like I was writing college essays, and it was a college class, but like I was only taking 2 instead of like 4. So honestly, respect to people who are out there taking 5 AP classes, 4 AP classes, because you're honestly like, I'm so proud of you. Like you keep going, but that's just not for me.
Yeah,
And, like,
definitely.
I think doing all that plus being involved is too much for any person at any age.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's burnout.
It's
And-
burnout.
Yeah, because I haven't taken an AP class. Again, I want to so bad, but I'm scared that like I just won't have a good balance to like do that. But I'm in all honors classes. So even at that, it's just so draining. It's like, it's like, and then when teachers hold like a higher expectation, like, oh, you guys are honors kids, like you should, this should be easy for you, but it's like,
I know it's supposed to be, but it's not.
but it's not. So
Please
like,
help.
right. So like, how about you help me? Because
Yeah.
I'm like currently struggling.
Yeah, and that's also one of the things because I took 4 AP classes.
Ooh.
I was
Good job to you.
I was a sweat, but a reason that was mostly because of like my expectations held of me from my parents, because they want me to succeed, because they didn't, how would I say this, like they want me to achieve more than they have, and they see like a way for me to achieve more than they have is through my education. So they have this high expectation of me. Take A because I expect nothing less than a 90. Like, do this, get involved, do this. Just build up your resume for your for college acceptance. And only certain people could do that, honestly, because as Daniel said, you have to know your limit. And that's why, like, junior year, bro, I was going through it. I started staying after school with my teachers. I had work as well after school. Like, I had a job. So
You were juggling a lot.
yeah, I was doing a lot, and that's why I still say like I still haven't found that balance, because that's what my schedule is gonna be like next year.
Next year.
Yeah, because I'm just held to such a high standards that it's like difficult for me. If I can't just go to my parents and be like, no, like I can't do this. Like no.
Right.
And like
That's-
that's the thing. Like a lot of immigrant households, a lot of people
Yeah.
with immigrant parents, like that's also a standard that you're held to, is to do better than they did.
Yeah.
And like as a first gen college student, like that is a lot of pressure.
That
but it's also
is.
kind of really exciting to know that you can do something so great.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're not, again, held to their expectations, but also your own,
Mhm.
that's when stuff gets challenging. Because I feel like I hold myself higher expectations than my parents do. Like,
Yeah,
like they hold me
same.
high, but like I am higher. Like I will want to
Yeah.
be like, I will do everything. I'll do my best.
No,
Right.
definitely.
But also like, again, knowing your limit. Like
Right.
you can only do so much as one individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Because like you were saying, I definitely hold myself like higher
Mhm.
up. Like if I see someone doing this, it's like, no, like I need to do this because
Yeah.
I know I can do it. But then
Mhm.
it's like it gets draining. Like especially with sports, like with
Yeah.
softball, like I'm going to my 3rd year just playing. And it's like I keep telling myself like you need to be on varsity. You need to like get every ball that comes to you. You need to hit home runs all the time. But it's like that's not the case. Like it's okay to mess up.
Yeah.
And the problem is since I hold myself so high, it's like when I mess up, it's like
Bro.
then I get upset and it's just like really like then it's a mood killer.
Yeah.
And that leads to our next topic. Perfect segue. Clubs, activities, after school activities. How do you balance those? So like I know for me. Actually, I'll
y'all
go
can
last.
take it.
You
because
should go last.
That's gonna take a long time.
I think me and Daniel should be the last.
You guys
one.
can go ahead and talk about your clubs and activities after school, and how you like balance those with everything else.
For activities, it mainly relied on my transportation.
Yeah.
And I didn't have transportation at all. So I barely did any. That's why it was only really Husky for immigrants. And that was because I was able to actually have a ride there entirely, because that's all the way in Hartford entirely. And sure, I could take the bus, but like even the buses were confusing me entirely. They were like, which one do I take? Because I had to get off this one, then I had to go on another bus, and just to walk another place. And I don't even know the
Girl,
layout for Hartford
I was just gonna say,
entirely.
girl, I don't know buses either. So we're on the same.
I took the bus like all my life, like from
Really?
from sixth grade to like freshman year. I was taking the bus from East Hartford to Brent every single day.
What? I literally have no idea.
If you need help with bus routes, I got you, because I was on every single bus in the state of Connecticut.
Because
To
what?
everywhere. But yeah, like that is also a barrier that people have.
Yeah,
Transportation.
transportation. And then another barrier could be responsibilities outside of school. And that's my barrier, because I was, as I said before, I don't want to go into that, but I had a lot to do after school. So I wasn't really involved in like school clubs or like school related extracurriculars, because I had a lot to do outside of school. So I would kind of like stay after school with the teacher, and I was involved in like 2 clubs, and that was student government and debate club. And debate club, we didn't really meet that much, but student government, we met every Thursdays from 2:30 to 3. And that was usually the days where I wouldn't meet with the teacher
Okay.
for extra help. So I just wanted to fill that
Time
blank in.
management.
Yeah. So for teenagers that are like worried about, colleges are not gonna like my resume because I'm not really involved in like school related extracurriculars. Once if you have like other responsibilities outside of school, it's totally okay. Like don't stress yourself out thinking about colleges, because that's what I do. I'm sorry.
I do that too. But like definitely, like you said, like it doesn't, like your resume doesn't have to be with just school related stuff.
Yeah.
Like because this program is not school related.
It's not.
But it looks really good. Like there's
Yeah.
other things outside of school that would look really good.
Like
on your
working as well.
resume. Working, exactly. Because work experience, and then it helps
Exactly.
you get a job, and then move on.
Yeah,
from there.
and also taking care of your family members.
No, that's good too.
yeah.
Exactly.
So don't feel like limited to just school related
Right,
activities.
because again, like we were saying in the other episode, there's always something for you to do,
Yeah.
whether it's in school or not. So,
Mhm.
well, I guess I should go next with mine. So, gosh, I try to get myself involved as much as I can, but again, I need to know my limit and time management.
Yeah.
because there's only so many days in a week and so many hours that you could do things. Ooh. So like what definitely took up my schedule the most was band, because they say band's like only half a year. It's a lie. It's a full year. It's more packed like during the fall and winter, and instead of like the spring, but we still have things to do. Like now this year we're going to Disney, so like we have that, and then we have the football games, and then we have like a little group called Pep Band where we perform at the basketball games, and I do that as well. So it's definitely like go, go, go. And then like the little clubs that I'm in, like I was in Ladies Rising, and it was with Miss Marquez, and it was a really good like group. It was a bunch of like girls from the high school, and we would go to CCSU and meet and like talk about like all these things that have to do with like being a lady, right? So like it was also like it was fun and everything, but it also happened during like school hours. So like we would usually go on a Friday. So that means like I'm missing that Friday of school to do this other activity. So now I have to do that activity, but then whatever work I miss.
Yeah.
And then if you don't get it excused, it's like a whole, we won't even jump into that.
Oh
like
my
that's
God.
just a whole mess
Yeah,
as well.
that's
And then like I was in Ed Rising too, but I couldn't be like how do I say it? I couldn't participate as much because because like band, and then I love doing sports, so like I'm gonna retry out for volleyball again this year, see if I could manage it. And like band and softball, like it's very difficult. Yeah, it's a lot, but I know at the end it'll look really good on my resume, and it'll be
it's worth it.
It
really does show off in the future.
It definitely will, but time management and balance.
Yeah. I know for me, I had a horrible time. Like a horrible
Daniel could
time.
have like a book and it goes.
And it's like you know the scroll and he opened it just like
and it falls. Yeah,
it
that's
just keeps
Daniel,
going.
guys.
Yeah, that's what it was. But like I had a horrible time prioritizing. Like I had so much to do, but I could never prioritize it. I feel like if I had the tools and resources to actually like know what to do, when to do it, and like even like having it written down on paper, which I'll get to later on, like some tips on how to prioritize and what to do. That would have saved me so much headache and so much like missed opportunities. But for me, I did quite a few clubs.
A lot.
Yeah. So I was the vice president of our council, of our class. I love how we snap. Can we get a full shot of that?
Yes,
like snap. I love the snapping. But yeah, I was vice president, and I also ran all the social media accounts. So like any accounts like needed for the volleyball page or for our class of 2024, I ran that, made the post for that, like outreach to people, like reaching out to people. I did all of that while also being in the yearbook club. And by yearbook club, I mean me and two other people. And mainly me, actually.
And
also
mainly you.
me designing the entire thing by myself. Which I had a really hard time saying because I always felt bad for like
taking
credit. But like sometimes it's like you have to give yourself credit where credit is due.
Exactly. No, definitely.
I spent so many hours on that yearbook.
No, let me tell y'all, the yearbook came out really good.
It did.
And
should we snap?
Yeah.
Snap.
And Daniel does like
snap, by the way.
a lot of.
But I can clap in sign language.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, we could do that.
Okay. Yeah,
my little
that's
bangles. But Daniel also is like really good with like creating posters and stuff. Like for our program as it is, youth prevention, like all those little posts, like that's Daniel, y'all.
And that's also the thing. Like I love doing things that I'm good at. So for me, I wasn't always the best at school. I used to be the best at school. Like I used to be a class A student. Like in elementary school, middle school, I was great at school. Because I didn't discover other things that I was good at yet. So I was like, oh, I'm good at this. I'm going to stick to this.
So you were like giving school like everything.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
And then I grew up and I was like, wait, I like music. I like theater. I like sports. I like this. And it became me doing everything I loved first and everything I had to do. Like that would come second.
Yeah.
And please do not do that. Please, whatever you do not do that. Like I did theater. I did... If you see my phone, it's my list of things I did on my phone, in my notes app. That's what I'm looking at. I was in Ed Rising, like Jada said. I was also in band, and it became I would do everything that like I found fun first, and leave everything that I actually had to do second. And that really backfired. Like I would leave my schoolwork till like 12 in the morning while I'm making posters I'd make posters like weeks in advance. Like I made our prom flyer in like December. Prom isn't until May. Like I didn't have to take so much time
already.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
But like I was making things so far in advance instead of I was like, my schoolwork can wait. No, this flyer that is due in 3 months can wait. And I feel like for me, I really had a hard time prioritizing. And there was also volleyball, and that I love that sport. I had so much fun, but it became so draining because a big part of being an athlete is student athlete. The student comes before the athlete, and for me, the student wasn't coming because I was doing so many other things. And like my coach was very hard on me about my grades because she knew what I was capable of. And she knew that this wasn't like me. Like I think when I had 3 Ds in volleyball season, like I was not doing I'm missing assignments. Like my attendance was I was never in school. But it was like, you know what I was doing instead? I was at home making flyers, singing, like doing anything literally but making the yearbook, doing anything but my schoolwork because I just love doing it so much. And I think slowly now I'm starting to find my love again for learning and my love again for academics. I loved the sport, but it became really draining because like it would be like I remember my senior year. I think it was my last game. I had to get sat for a first set because I had an F in a class. Oh. And I was like, okay, well, that actually kind of sucks. But also, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm just trying my best. And like,
he's just a boy.
And at the time, it was also theater, and I was leading the musical.
Yeah.
And I had rehearsals every week. I had rehearsal Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every week.
Which it came out really good, y'all. Let me tell you.
And the musical was great, and I loved doing it. And I would I'd do that again and again and again and again and again if I had to. But like again, like instead of I was go over my script, learning my lines, not doing my schoolwork. And if I was doing my schoolwork, I'm like, okay, schoolwork, then lines. That would have really saved me so much heartache in the future. Yeah. But it's hard because also like people look up to me, and like that's something that you have to take into account. Like I was the captain of the volleyball team, and like at times I didn't give what my team needed. And that was because I was trying to do so many other things at once that I couldn't give them the quality of work that they deserve.
100%.
And that also took a toll on my mental health. Of like, why am I not giving people the me that they deserve? But it's like the me that they deserve, I don't have for myself, so I can't give something I don't have to other people. And like, that's a big part of like being a loving person, like wanting to give everyone a happy experience and make sure like everyone feels loved and supported. Like you have to love and support yourself first. And like,
because if you can't do that to yourself, then you can't do it to
exactly. And like my outlets for love and support were like theater, volleyball, like all these things. Ed Rising, like I went to nationals for Ed Rising this a few weeks ago in DC, and we came second place.
That's awesome.
And we literally did our project the night of our flight. We were up till 1 a.m. doing our project. The flight left the school at 1:30. I literally had to get home, pack in like 10-15 minutes, get on the plane, and just go. And like, again, I had so much time to do that project, but I was so busy doing other things that I love doing. And it's hard when you love doing so many things, and you have to like pick and choose what you love. Like, knowing what you're good at is also really helpful. Unfortunately, I'm good at a lot of things, so that didn't really help.
It's a little
but like
struggle,
for me, like, what did I have? Like, I was in the debate club my freshman year.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I was horrible. I sucked at it. Fun fact, it was online that year, so it was a Zoom call. I literally was like, I can't understand. I can't, and I ended the call and I left and never went back because I was so bad and it was so embarrassing. But again, like, if you love it, don't quit. Also, because volleyball, I was so bad freshman year. I was actually horrible. If you see footage, I look like a stick monster, like swatting at a ball. But also, it's like having perseverance. And now I'm captain, and I got all conference twice in a row.
Awesome.
And like, this is all things you can work on and like maintain with yourself, which can also lead to the future and benefit in the future. So for our next topic and our last topic for today, we have future plans. So how does what you do now, balancing that until the future?
So honestly, I would say to cater your resume towards what you look to do in the future. Because for me, I want to go into law, and my resume is filled with student government, debate club, me working at a court, being a court aide. That kind of like makes up my resume. So it's important for you to find something that you know you're going to do in the future and cater your resume towards that.
No, definitely, because I also want to go to law, guys. So actually, me and Azine just got emails about doing this program at Yale as high schoolers for law. So that's
Yale.
So fun.
That needs a clap. That needs a clap.
If y'all don't know, which y'all don't, but I will say.
Where's your bag?
Right, my bag is in the other room, but Yale is like one of my dream colleges.
She's a bulldog through and through.
I am like.
She's manifesting.
I'm manifesting that. Like when we went for our tour, like you should have seen. Like everyone saw me. I was geeked. I was so smiling the whole time, like cheek to cheek. Like it was so amazing. So it's like like Azine said, like fill your resume with what you want to do in the future, because then they'll look at it and they'll be like, oh, like she or he or they are like a really good fit for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, then you have a higher chance of getting into what you really want to do. So being in this group alone,
I was just gonna say that, yeah.
like it helped me so much. And like now I have so many good like people I could use for like recommendations for like getting into other activities, like you were saying, you know, so we could be lawyers in the future.
And
Like,
now you have a lot of like references.
exactly.
And, like,
Speaking,
yeah,
sorry.
No, go ahead. You go
Okay,
first.
so speaking of Yale,
Yeah.
it literally brought back one of my old little passions I had of
Aw.
architecture. I absolutely love architecture in general, especially the Renaissance Gothic architecture, 13th century. Literally know it.
Y'all, Leo.
If I'm wrong, okay.
Leo was geek too. Let me tell
I
you
was geeking
guys.
out so much. I took so many photos of the architecture. Absolutely wonderful. It looked, I'm gonna say it. It looked like a cleaner version of Paris, to my opinion.
Hey,
Clock it.
clock it, right?
Either
Yeah.
way, it brought back my passion that I really want to do architecture in the future. But first, what was it? Since I come from an immigrant household, I want to do something that, what is it called, can get me a lot of money, but I still have interest towards, which is accounting.
Mm-hmm.
So this program is really helping me with my collaboration skills and communication skills.
And public speaking.
Public
as well.
speaking as well, like the cameras and everything.
Yeah.
And so,
and that's important for someone that wants to go into your layer of work.
Or even ours,
Mhm.
too,
Yeah.
because we're gonna be like in a court, like we
In a
have to,
courtroom.
we have to speak, and there will be
Yes,
people.
yeah. Like there's no running away from it.
Yeah.
I also got to say, what is it called? Also helped me make amazing connections. Tamika, shout out to Tamika.
Yes.
Absolutely love her.
Exactly.
And I met Tina from the mayor's office as well, and
Oh,
she
she's the
recommended me.
sweetest.
She's the sweetest. She recommended me to try to become a U.S. Mint, which is like dealing with the money, like making currency and all that stuff,
Cool.
which I'm also interested in. And so, because there's this internship that I really want, but it's all the way in D.C. where you're working. I'm pretty sure for the Federal Reserve, something like that, as an internship, $42,000 a year. I'm like, I want to do that. It's for 1 year, but still want to do it.
Hey, right.
And so I want to do that. And if I like it, I'm going to try to apply again entirely. But that is after senior year,
yeah,
because it's a whole year and I want to focus on that since it's full time.
yeah, definitely.
And
Balance of
also, Tina
Exactly.
recommended me a job for part time working with the police chief as one of their accountants.
That's so awesome.
And so I definitely want to do that. But I had to text Mayor Aaron Stewart actually for that. So
Wow.
I'm going to have to talk to her soon. But
And we
Mhm.
sorry to cut you off, but we all got these connections with the help of this group
Mhm.
when we were in youth prevention. Because if we're not a part of this group, we would not have
Never.
had such
can we applaud them?
references.
Like literally,
they get a standing ovation. y'all.
literally.
Literally, like Daniel was saying, relationships.
Yeah,
Mhm.
get involved.
Literally,
Balance, relationships, work,
Balance.
school life,
Mhm.
clubs, future plans. Like this is all
it all
a
connects.
part
Mhm.
of prevention as well.
It is.
And that's the point of this podcast, prevention. And I think I'll wrap up the future plans and get us going because I feel like we've been going for chatting for a little long time. But
Yeah.
for
Understandable.
me, I feel like it's most realistic because I'm now experiencing my future plans. Going into
Yeah, you
college,
are.
college apps. I applied to 22 schools,
22.
22 schools, and I got into I think over half of those. I don't know the numbers exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's just like again balancing my time, doing college apps, like all of the stuff I can put on my resume. I think it was like 3 pages long, my resume,
Wow.
and like that again in prevention, knowing balancing what you know and what you love is a really good tip I take. Balancing what you know, what you love to do, and all of that can really benefit you and get you good places. Because now I get a full ride to UConn,
that's
Applaud,
like,
applaud.
That's an applause.
No, that's an applause,
and
right?
that's all from balance.
And that's
Um,
all the hard work you put in.
And that was also
So
Mhm.
I'm gonna just before we go, I'm gonna give you a little tip of something I found recently. I don't know how exactly you can see this, but it's an app called Notion, and it kind of helps you plan out your life and balance your life. So this right, you can't see it very well. Wait,
Sponsor
it's
us.
black.
It's low.
Yeah.
We are not sponsored, but like you can like make your own schedule and you can put like your class in here, and this is the way that you hold yourself accountable. So like, what you got to get done, and you can put it in here. It's fully customizable. Look into it. Go on TikTok, YouTube. There's a bunch of videos on how to use it. This is gonna help me a lot for college. But to leave you with one question, our question for you guys is what keeps you balanced? So we talked about what we did, us, band, sports,
Home life.
sleeping, home life,
family
Yeah.
responsibility,
doing what you love. All of these are great ways to keep you balanced. So next topic for next week is mental wellness. So hopefully you guys tune in for the episode. It's been so much fun with you guys today, and we hope you come back next time. So thank you guys so much.
you.
We'll
Yeah,
see ya.
thank you guys.
Bye.